The ancient world, steeped in myth and legend, often sought to personify the most profound and terrifying aspects of human existence. Among these chilling embodiments are the androktasiai, figures that represent a dark and inescapable truth about humanity. They are the very personification of manslaughter, a concept both brutal and deeply unsettling. These enigmatic figures are an integral part of Greek mythology, though they are not benevolent deities to be worshipped or appeased. Instead, they stand as stark reminders of the violent act of killing a man, a force that could erupt from within or be inflicted upon the innocent. Their presence in the mythological landscape speaks volumes about the Greek understanding of violence and its inherent nature. The origins of the androktasiai are as formidable as their essence, for they are the daughters of the formidable goddess Eris. Eris herself is the primordial embodiment of strife and discord, a chaotic force that delights in sowing conflict wherever she treads. This parentage immediately establishes the inherently violent and destructive nature of her offspring. Their very existence reflects the brutal realities of a world often consumed by conflict, where disputes could escalate into deadly encounters. Eris is renowned for her relentless pursuit of chaos, her ability to incite quarrels and ignite wars among gods and mortals alike. From her tumultuous being, she birthed a brood of personifications, each a manifestation of the destructive consequences of her pervasive influence. These children of Eris were not merely abstract concepts, they were living, breathing embodiments of the suffering and turmoil she unleashed. The androktasiai, as direct descendants of such a potent force, inherited a legacy of violence and the grim task of representing its most heinous outcome. Their birth signifies that manslaughter is not an isolated incident, but a direct consequence of the discord Eris champions. The androktasiai were not isolated entities in the vast tapestry of Greek myth. They were part of a larger, terrifying family of negative forces. Their siblings paint a grim and comprehensive picture of the world Eris inhabited, a realm perpetually on the brink of chaos and suffering. This lineage underscores the interconnectedness of destructive elements in the ancient Greek worldview. Their familial ties reveal a profound understanding of how various forms of suffering and conflict are intertwined, each feeding into the other. This dark pantheon of personifications illustrates the multifaceted nature of human misery and the forces that perpetuate it. Each sibling contributed to the pervasive climate of discord that fueled the androktasiai's very existence. Among their siblings was Horcus, the personification of oaths and their violation, representing the broken trust that often precedes violence. Ponos embodied toil and hardship, the relentless struggle that could drive individuals to desperate acts. Alga, the personification of pain and suffering, was a constant companion to the victims of violence. The Hismeni, Makai, and Phonoi were all closely related to violence and bloodshed, representing the fury of battle, the clash of arms, and the act of murder itself. Lemos, the personification of famine, brought starvation and desperation, often leading to societal breakdown and increased conflict. Dysnomia, the embodiment of lawlessness, signified the breakdown of order that allows violence to flourish unchecked. Nikeia represented quarrels and disputes, the initial sparks that could ignite into full-blown conflicts. Pseudologoi embodied lies, the deceit and misinformation that often fuel animosity and lead to tragic misunderstandings. Amphilogii personified ambiguities, the uncertainties and double meanings that sow confusion and mistrust. Finally, 8, the personification of ruin and delusion, represented the blind folly that leads individuals to their downfall and often to acts of violence. Even Lethe, the river of forgetfulness, played a role, as the oblivion it offered could sometimes be the only escape from the horrors wrought by this destructive family. This extensive family tree demonstrates that manslaughter was seen not as an isolated act, but as a culmination of many preceding negative forces. The very existence of the androktasiai underscores a profound aspect of the Greek understanding of the world and human nature. Their association with such a destructive and pervasive family highlights the ancient belief that violence was an inherent, almost inescapable part of the human condition. The Greeks acknowledged the inherent potential for violence that resided within individuals and societies. They recognized the devastating and far-reaching impact of manslaughter, not just on the victim, but on the perpetrator and the community as a whole. The androktasiai were not merely abstract concepts or philosophical ideas. They were personified forces, tangible embodiments of a terrible reality. They served as a constant, chilling reminder to mortals of the dire consequences of their actions, particularly those driven by anger or malice. These figures also served as a stark warning of the ever-present threat of conflict, a reminder that peace was often fragile and easily shattered. They embodied the tragic outcomes that could arise from human strife, from personal vendettas to large-scale warfare. The androktasiai, therefore, stand as a powerful mythological representation of the darker aspects of human nature. They are a testament to the destructive power of strife and discord, forces that could lead to the ultimate violation of life. Their presence in the Greek pantheon of personifications reveals a society that grappled deeply with the origins and consequences of violence. They remind us that even in the realm of myth, the shadow of human brutality loomed large, a force to be acknowledged and perhaps feared.